A report finds TikTok as performing the best in terms of online safety compared with other popular social media platforms. It is the first such annual report by Singapore's Infocomm Media Development Authority. The report assessed 6 platforms with significant reach. TikTok had the highest overall rating of 4 out of 5. Facebook, Hardware Zone, Instagram and YouTube tied at 3.5. X, formerly known as Twitter, fared the worst with a rating of 2.5. Now, the report says TikTok had the required safety measures for all users, including children. Now, it was easy to find safety information, and it offered Singapore-based resources for issues such as mental health and sexual abuse. 9 in 10 harmful videos were taken down within 24 hours of being reported. Online forum Hardware Zone had safety measures in place, but they were easy to bypass. Anyone could simply click a button to confirm they are older than 18. Now, Hardware Zone will have to provide IMDA with an update on more effective measures. Facebook, YouTube and Instagram had safety measures in place for all users. However, these platforms did not always respond to user reports of harmful content. Children's accounts on Facebook and YouTube could also access adult content. As for X, the report found it needed to do more to detect and remove content depicting child sexual exploitation or abuse. Children's accounts could also easily view adult sexual content. X also took the longest to respond to user reports of harmful content, an average of 10 days. As speaking to social media platforms during a roundtable, authorities say the report will allow users to make informed decisions.
We need to support the parents in this process. And in that sense, IMDA's findings hopefully will also be useful for parents to understand the safety measures that you have already put in place, and also to be able to exercise due care in deciding which of these platforms are more suitable for their children, because sometimes it depends on the children's own inclinations too.
Singapore is also studying how social media platforms should use technology to better protect children and youth online. Such a requirement was introduced last month for some app stores. Claudia Lim with more.
Singapore authorities say that social media platforms need to take greater responsibility to protect children from online harms. One way is to use age assurance technology. These tools use methods like facial analysis or check against IDs to gauge how old a user is. Google says it already has plans for such technology.
We're rolling out a global machine learning-based age estimation model that will help platforms like us determine whether a user is above or below 18 so that we can actually apply the right protections and also age-appropriate experiences for them. So we really look forward to working on that with the community over the years to come. This will start in the US and then it rolls out globally over time.
One social service agency says it is seeing children as young as 10 years old seek help for issues like cyberbullying. Children are also encountering pornography or are victims of exploitative grooming.
Children are accessing the devices at an earlier age, and also these platforms are designed to engage. But the problem happens when the engagement takes place without guidance, whether it's from parents or from a responsible adult. And when the children hear a lot about these things happening online, the challenge is that it becomes normalized.
Companies like Google and social service agencies like Touch were at a roundtable marking Safer Internet Day. They also discussed next steps to protect people against online harms, such as providing Singaporeans with resources or working closer together to flag inappropriate content.
And for more on this, we have with us Dr. Natalie Pang, Head and Associate Professor at the Communications and New Media Department at the National University of Singapore. Dr. Pang, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So findings showing that TikTok had the highest safety rating out of the 6 social media platforms. How should a parent interpret this finding, that it is safe or better for their children to use TikTok?
I think it's important to understand that these metrics will continue to evolve, but it is, in fact, a very good set of baseline metrics because for once, we now have metrics to actually compare the platforms in various aspects of online safety, including how, to what extent they have actually community safety policies, user reporting and resolution and accountability. So I think what it's true, in fact, what parent can take away is that TikTok seems to do well on all these aspects and metrics of online safety that we have right now. But I think there are still gaps, for instance, looking at actually taking down and doing something with community flag posts. That's still something I think all platforms, including TikTok, can improve on.
And based on these ratings, would it make sense for parents to police their children's usage of the internet then?
I think this report provides parents with a good baseline. Now we have actually evidence of potential harms and potential harmful content on certain platforms. So I think it provides parents with some insight on certain platforms that they probably need to look out for. And I think it's useful for parents to review, have a conversation with their child, right, depending on the age of the child, and come to a consensus on what apps is safe for them to use and what apps are not.
Okay, so this report really comes in very timely, right, and very useful for parents then. So authorities, as we understand, they are exploring this technology called age assurance technology to protect young users on social media platforms. How does this technology work? What does it look like?
Yeah, so the term age assurance technology, in fact, is a broad umbrella for a variety of things. It broadly refers to various mechanisms and also technologies, and many of them are at their nascent stage of development to estimate and also verify the age of a child, so age of a user. So a platform, for instance, may try to use machine learning techniques, right, and models to kind of estimate the age of a child, and then use that as a basis in terms of looking at whether or not the child should be recognized as a child account.
Okay, and why is it useful now at this juncture?
I think it's useful now because the challenge is that while many platforms, in fact, they do have policies in terms of the age, minimum age required to use their platforms. The challenge has always been that it's been very difficult to verify. In terms of verifying age, for instance, we do have platforms that use existing measures. For instance, they ask for a copy of government verified ID, for instance, to try and verify the age.
Okay.
But such measures actually do have implications and concerns, for instance, privacy of users, and especially if we are collecting, very personal data associated with minors. There are privacy concerns, including also the digital footprints and how such data can be managed.
This was very much a technology that wasn't mature until recently. What has changed in the last few years that makes this kind of technology more viable now, especially for a country like Singapore?
I think one of the technological developments that we have seen, especially in the last few years, is really advances in machine learning, advances in also biometric verification, biometric technology, and I think with these advances in technology, it has become more viable for platforms to consider adopting them to actually embark on this very challenging task of age assurance.
But young people, as we know, they are very tech savvy as well. Won't they find a way around this technology?
Indeed. In fact, with even existing, many platforms, in fact, if you sign up for an account, they will ask you to declare your age, right? And as we all know, young people actually know how to get around that. They could just declare a different age and get around the limitations imposed on them. So I think young people will continue to find ways to actually deal with it. But I think it's also equally important to recognize that even as platforms adopt this different age and experiment with different age assurance technologies, I think it's also very important to engage young people in that conversation.
Are there ways that age assurance can be more foolproof?
I think the current experiments are looking at the effectiveness of various age assurance technologies. Some of these are also being explored by platforms as well. So it remains to be seen.
All right, work in progress. Yeah, Dr.
Yes.
Pang, thank you so much for speaking with us. Dr. Natalie Pang there, Head of the Communications and New Media Department at NUS. Thank you.
Thank you.